Hey, Dr. Trashy, and today we'll do my advanced guide with tips and tricks for the units in Tooth and Tail Part 3, where we're gonna take a look at the tier 3 units. Actually, I wanted to stop making videos about Tooth and Tail, but since lately a subscriber called Alex1544 reached out to me and asked if I could do a video about the tier 3 units, I was like, yeah, why not? Even more since Part 1 and Part 2 are my most viewed videos. But enough from that, and let's get right into it. We're gonna start off with my favorite tier 3 unit, the Betcha. She's your DPS unit when it comes to tier 3 units with the highest DPS in the game. Therefore, though she's extremely fragile with only 65 HP. What makes the Betcha so special is her weapon, the minigun, which has at the beginning of the fight a rather small damage output, but after some seconds it ramps up to insanely high numbers. This combined with the trait that she's able to move while shooting, which is by the way unique in the game, makes her extremely potent in long grind-out fights, where she is able to keep her DPS up while she is constantly kiting. To use her to her maximum though, you need pings to keep her alive, and if possible a frontliner can soak up enemy burst damage that otherwise would kill the Betcha. When fighting against the Betcha, avoid all-out fights and try to go for short skirmishes where she's not able to get her maximum DPS. Another counter is burst DPS, since she is fragile and therefore easy to kill with units like a fox for example. Next on my list is Uncle Butter, or the Boar, whatever you prefer. He's a massive tank with short range flamethrower that deals massive damage and can burn the ground. Since this damage is AoE, it is best used against a large group of enemies, preferably tier 1 units. Also does he excel against buildings so gristmill and warrens. His AoE damage is multiplied here with 4 since buildings take up 4 tiles. While strong against tier 1 and buildings, lets the Boar fall off when fighting against more elite troops and air units, since his flamethrower can't hit them. So try to bring him down with chameleons as a frontline and falcon snakes or a Betcha as your DPS. The fox and the sniper rifle are completely opposite of the Uncle Butter. Her swiftness trait makes her move twice as fast and makes her perfect for picking off troops from afar, preferably higher value troops, and then to kite back. For that though, you need microcontrol and awareness of the map, cause if getting chased you surely don't want to end up in a dead end where you're gonna get caught. In general is close range combat her big weakness, since she cannot benefit from her high range, which is her biggest strength. When fighting against her, use defenses like the machine gun nest, since the fox cannot target structures and the machine gun nest would zone her away. Also try to swarm her with tier 1 units, since most of her damage is then going to be overkill. Tier wheel specific counters here are lizards and chameleons. Lizards cause they can keep up with her speed, and chameleons cause they can become invisible and therefore untargetable until they get in range to attack her. The owl is a really unique unit. In and of itself, she's just a flyer with no attack and a rather small amount of HP. What makes her special is her trait spawner, which allows her to drop undead zombie mice that attack the first enemy they see and are uncontrollable. These mice again, in and of itself, are pretty weak, only having the swiftness trait for them. What they lack though in attack and defensive stats, they make up in pure numbers. The owl spawns one of them each 5 seconds and 6 on death, and although they die after 30 seconds, this is enough to make use of them as meatballs that if not dealt with can also deal horrendous numbers of damage. So basically, it's the all of flying Rowan that produces units that doesn't cost any food, which sounds pretty good. And the all is pretty good, but it's a classical win war unit. What that means is that if you're already pushing for the lead or have a slight advantage, an owl can give you the edge through her infinite value. But you will never make a miraculous comeback with an owl, since you will just get shot down before you can get any value from her. And shooting her down is pretty easy without a frontline to protect her. Even more if you have falcons or a fox that can easily burst her down within seconds. Last but not least on my tier 3 unit list is Drill Sergeant Volkov, or as most people refer to him, the Wolf. He's a classical support unit that can boost nearly everything but has no attack, similar to the owl. He can make your units attack and move twice as fast, make pigs produce food twice as fast, and make warrens produce units twice as fast. The only thing he is not capable of buffing are health stats and the building of structures like a gristmill. Of course, is the Sergeant best used in the backline of large armies where he is safe. From there he can buff your troops to make them fight like beasts, which they technically already are, but you get the point. He can for example make your lizards move 4 times as fast as average units to make them deadly flankers, or he can buff squirrels to make their DPS extremely dangerous for any enemy frontline, and so on and so on. Another benefit is that you can recover more quickly from heavy casualties than your enemy can, so it's a good tactic to basically swarm him cause he probably can't keep up with the buffed drones and the buffed economy. While all of these things speak for the wolf, he can't buff your troops HP, which still leaves your army that probably is made of tier 1 units really vulnerable to AoE damage. And secondly is the Sergeant again a win more unit and you already need an army to make use of him, and if your enemy is constantly keeping you under pressure you probably will never come to a point where the Sergeant is going to be effective. So that's it. I hope you liked my rundown on the tier 3 unit in Tooth and Tail, and if you did so make sure to leave a like and subscribe, since I would decide whether I do a video about the defensive tier depending on the feedback to this video. But anyway, thanks for watching and goodbye.